Before y'all move, it wouldn't be right if y'all didn't know that all of the costumes, all of the dances, all of the designing was done by kids. The root of it is about not losing our soul. Been away from Mother Africa so long and been poisoned by so many different types of music and so many different types of corruption of music, sampling and all kind of crazy things that they're calling music today, that the generation is gradually losing its salsa, its soul. And this, as you can see, it takes coordination, it takes rhythm, and, these are kids now. And just imagine if they continue in this sense of rhythm and sense of timing, we will eventually regain our soul. As it says in the 23rd Psalm, He restoreth my soul and leadeth me to the path of righteousness for His name's sake. Because a lot of our children have in fact lost their souls. They're under the impression that the hip-hop generation or that new kind of music has soul and it's void of African rhythms. Now, today, it is gradually taking a change for the better. You're starting to hear more rhythms. You got Indiana Irie, you got Erica Badu. You have a lot of them bringing it back around again. And eventually they'll probably get back to the drums and the timbale and different things that are related to us as a people. This is necessary because we live by the drum. The only music in the world that has no drum is classical music. Every part of the world you go, everybody bases their music about the drum. It's a part of us. It's our heartbeat. Africa beats as the drum. South America beats as the drum. Puerto Rico, Cuba beats by the drum. Rio de Janeiro beats by the drum. Don't let them ever pull you so far away from your heartbeat until your body dies. You follow? Is everybody having a good time? Yeah! This is a very important time for us as a people. Because we've been struggling for a long time. Some of y'all are very young, and we're happy as elders to be here with you young people. But a lot of y'all don't know what we went through to get this far. For us to be out here on our own land, looking at pyramids that we built, establishing culture that we chose, and speaking a language of our own. I mean, a lot of us are Muslims, a lot of us are Christians, a lot of us are Hebrew Israelites, Yoruba, a lot of us belong to the Rastafari, and many things. All of those take us back to someone else's culture. All of them take us back to the Bible or the Quran or books that was given to us by either Arabs or what they're calling Philistines or Hebrew or Hebrews. But when you can stand up and you can say a word like Nuapo, and they can't tell you what it means, only you know what it means, and don't ever tell them what it means. Whenever they ask you what is a Nuapo, point to yourself. What's Nuapo mean? Just point to yourself. Don't ever give them a definition, because then they can't ever enter into the dictionary. They can't ever enter into the dictionary. They can't ever teach the world what you are. They'll have to come to you to find out what you are. As long as we use names like Muslim is defined already in the dictionary. They call it a man who's a Mohammedan who follows the religion of Muhammad, who was born in Arabia in the year 570, and they have a whole dialogue. When you call yourself a Hebrew, they say, oh, he's a Jew that comes from Abraham and Moses and Moshe and Torah and Buddha. If you say you're Zoroastrianism, no, he's from Mazda, but they got a definition. You say, I'm a Nuwapian. What? They say, oh, okay, you one of those people who wear black. Oh, with the braid thing. No, all of us don't wear black. Okay, it's a predominantly Negro organization. No, there's no such thing. Nuwapian itself is a race. And that race is Nuwapians. What is your religion? Nuwapo. What do y'all believe? Nuwapo. Who is your God? God. Do you believe in Allah? Do you believe in Jehovah? Do you believe in Jesus? We say all of the above. Depending on what language you're speaking to me, and whatever you're trying to convince me, if it makes sense and it's factual, I'm cool. When it starts getting silly, I don't want to be bothered. We start telling me that God came to earth and had sex with a woman and gave birth to a son, I don't want to be bothered. We told me Muhammad rode a funny donkey to heaven, I don't want to be bothered. If you told me that Muhammad and Jesus and all of them were part of a greater all, I'm cool. If you told me that all of them were aspiring for peace in the world, I'm cool. If you told me that Muhammad spread his religion by a sword, I don't want to be bothered. It's not my business.
I don't care.
They're very concerned about the fact that we have decided to make our own decisions. They're very concerned about the fact that you've decided to educate your children about self and kind. They will fire you from a university if you don't follow a dialogue. They tell a doctor and a lawyer exactly what he's supposed to give a patient. And if a doctor decides that I disagree with what the medical profession says is healthy, and I want to go back and use herbs, they call him a witch doctor. You follow that? And take away his license. If a lawyer decides that he wants to fight all constitutional cases, you follow? They'll call him a heretic. And they'll take away his license. They'll debar him. If a professor decides, I want to teach the truth about Columbus and the truth about Egypt. I want to teach the truth about Puerto Rico. I want to teach the truth about Cuba. Follow? We can't send our kids to school. We can't send our kids to the mosque. We can't send our kids to churches. We can't let them hang out in the clubs. We're backed in the corner. But then, when we decide to do something like this, they want to destroy us also. They don't have anything to offer us. We can go to school, we can get our master's, we can get our bachelor's, we can get a PhD, and still don't know if we're going to get placed with a job. Or a job fit for our qualifications. We won't know it. We won't get a fair shot. That goes without saying. Is that right? But if we decide we want to do our own thing, then we're a cult. Then we're crazy. They spend thousands of dollars what they call investigating this organization, the Nawapians. Thousands of dollars for the last couple of years, all in our business, doing everything. So they have a trick called sensationalism. That is, they say things about you to draw attention, whether it's true or false. Anything that doesn't have anything to do with them, they turn into a myth, a cartoon, a mystery, a movie, and a joke, and it's out the window. Because the time has come. The time has come and our ancestors are watching close. We can feel it. We can hear it. They are moving us up. They're speeding us up in time. I mean, look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods plays golf the way Michael Jordan plays basketball. I mean, he puts the golf ball in the hole without even a second putt. I mean, he hits it 100 yards and in the hole. If you look around the world, you can already see that we're moving forward as a people. The only thing that's holding us back is ourselves. Is the fact that we're not moving as a block. And when you look over at something like the Nawapians, a worldwide movement, they try to confine it to this land and says, you know, there's a cult over there in Georgia, in a little city in Egypt, up in there where they, up on that little corner, you follow? And then they found out there's Italian Nawapians, there's Jewish Nawapians, there's Filipino Nawapians. Then they had to start expanding. So, well, there's a few Caucasians and a few this. Every year they see more of the family coming. Because you might not have been able to make it last year, or you might not even knew about right knowledge last year. But you're here this year, and you're here to take the message out and spread it somewhere new. And what makes our message different than every other people are teaching is we demand one thing. And that is, don't believe anything we say. Check it out yourself. Everybody teaching you is a liar. The only person that can't lie to you is you. And once you investigate things and get to the bottom of it, then nobody can tell you what's right and what's wrong. If you do not see a UFO, don't take my word for it. Please don't. Wait your turn. When they want you to see them, they'll let you see them. You follow? And then you got your own convictions. Don't base anything on faith. You follow? And this is what's needed to keep people in a mental, hypnotic state. Belief. Whether I'm believing that Jesus is coming, or Maitreya is coming, or the Buddha is coming, or the Mashiach is coming, whatever I'm set to believe, without any facts to confirm it, is a stepping stone towards a hypnotic spell. A hypnotic spell of ignorance. Because you cannot even name a war that doesn't have something to do with religion. Racism is in the Bible. Because the devil is a race in the Bible. He's a group of people in the Bible. And we're being told, hate it. Correct? They say, for your knowledge, who committed the first murder in the Bible? Say it again. Wrong. God. In order for him to make an apron for himself, for Adam and Eve to wear, he said he made it out of animal skin. So if he made it out of animal skin, then he killed the animal to make the apron for Adam and Eve to wear. And that's what Cain saw and said, oh, so that's how you do it. Who's responsible for the first racism in the world? Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. I put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. That's Genesis. Who's responsible for the first racism in the world? That's a frightening thought, isn't it? Because it sounds like we're talking about God. Instead of we're talking about a God, a specific God, that's attributed to a specific religion by a specific group of people, and we predate it. You understand what I mean by that? They give you the guilties to talk about a 2,000-year-old God. When you, as an African, and everybody in here, I don't care what country you came from, your roots go back to Africa. Now, when I use the word Africa, I'm using one of their words a Pope gave them, or the Arabic word, Afrika from Farqa, meaning to divide us into pieces. That's what the word means, Farqa, to divide us, chop us down into pieces. Afrika. Separate the people in Haiti and make the people in Haiti dislike the people in Trinidad. That's a good game. But when it backfires on you and the people in Ireland start hating the people in London, then it's a major problem. Then it's on the news every day. You saw? All of this stems from belief, from religions, from a form of toxic commitment that I want to go to heaven. And why do I want to go to heaven? Because I'm a lazy person. What do I mean by that? I mean because what's promised to me in heaven is that I go to a place where I do nothing no more but sit back and live good. Forever and ever. Everything is given to me. Everything is provided for me. You see that? So the thinking person is not going to be bound by religion. And the zombie makers are going to call the thinking person a cult leader. Because he says, like myself, don't believe anybody, check them out. If they ask you something, they start preaching to you, I ask them to explain it. When I meet a Muslim, my first question is, how long have you been Muslim? You follow? I've been Muslim 10 years. You speak the Arabic classical language. If not, why not? Why didn't the first thing you do is learn the language of the very God that you intend to worship? When I meet a Hebrew Israelite, I ask the same thing. Do you speak Hebrew? If you walk up to me and you tell me your religion, first thing I want to know is there a holy book? There's a holy book. I want to know what language it was in, and I want to know, do you read that language? If not, there ain't nothing you can tell me about your religion. Because all you're going to tell me is what Yusuf Ali from Pakistan translated, or what Maulana Muhammad Ali from Lahore translated. And I'm not interested. I want you to explain to me in the language of the God that sent it down to you, so I can get to the masdar, the roots of what things mean. But when you get down like that, you say to a person, in the Quran, what did Allah mean by this? Or in the Bible, what did He mean by Elohim? Why is it plural? They can't tell you. But they need faith. They'll say, you need faith. Your problem is you don't have any faith. You don't have any belief. Person tell me, my brother, Haile Selassie, is the Lion of Judah. I say, I want to hear him say it. I hear you saying it, and it could be true. I'm not saying it ain't true because you're saying it. I'm saying, show me somewhere where he says it. A tape? A video? Don't give me no book now, but someone else can wrote the book. You know what I'm saying? Show me somewhere where my brother himself says, I am Christ. Don't start saying, well, because he had this, and because Psalm says this, and because he had this. Because I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to put a spider web on my brain. By saying, because of this chapter, because of this verse. No, I don't want no chapter, this verse, my butt. I want to hear Haile Selassie say it himself. I heard Yahweh ben Yahweh say it. He said, I am Yahweh ben Yahweh. I am Yahweh ben Yahweh. I am a son of God. Everybody got uptight about that. I'm like, so are all of us. I mean, what's so deep about it? I think something so deep about him saying he's a son of God. Aren't we all children of God?
Right.
No. But if you're telling me that you are the son, Bar Ben, which is in Hebrew and Aramaic, Bar Ben, of the source that created the boundless universe, and you can say that, I'm going to start asking you another question. How and when? When, because when he did it places him in time, or her or it in time. How he did it places him, her, or it in situation or circumstance. You following that? So now, if you are indeed God's son or daughter, I mean, you personally, I want to know when he did it and how he did it. Because where he did it, he caught in the middle of those two. Because your butt's here. So I know he did it here, unless you were somewhere else, and then I'm going to ask you, where the hell else was you? Now, if you tell me you're from Mars, then I'm going to start asking you things about Mars. But I'm not going to let you fill my heart, mind, and soul with beliefs and blind me from facts just because I don't like the facts. Because I want to believe certain things. Because it's convenient to believe certain things. You follow? Because you fit in with the system. You're conforming when you believe certain things. When you tell them, I am African, that's a big word, it's a big continent. Where are you from in Africa? That's somebody. You're from Ethiopia. Which part of Ethiopia? Ethiopia. And Ethiopians don't call it Ethiopia, by the way, but go ahead. Where from? Eritrea? I know that. I know you. But, you know, I understand what you're trying to say. I'm not really going to misask you, because we can do that. And the same thing I said, where and when we started coming, you said, where in Africa? What tribe? What village? And as you tie into that, you follow? It's easy to say, we're all Africans. Where you from? I'm Nubian. Well, what part of Nubia? People don't know there's places in Nubia, tribes in Nubia. What tribe do you belong to? I had a guy told me, I'm from the Afar tribe. He said, from the Afar tribe and the Danakil. You're from the Afar tribe and the Danakil? That's like saying I live in Florida. I'm from Florida and I'm from New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And, how can you, okay, is your mother from Florida and your father's from New Jersey? And that makes sense. And then again, when and where did they meet and how did you come about? You follow what I'm saying? Now, nobody likes me because of it. Muslims don't like me because I ask questions. Christians don't like me because I ask questions. Jews don't like me personally, because I ask questions. And I ask questions if they don't want nobody to ask them. Because I bother people. And I've taught y'all to bother people. And now you go to your country and someone asks you a question. They go ahead. Muhammad was the last prophet? Yeah. Says who? They say the Quran. Who received the Quran? Muhammad. Oh. I mean, that makes sense. Now show me somebody other than Muhammad's followers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else who says he's the last prophet. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is Lord and Savior, God's Son. Right? Okay, cool. Who said so? Christians. Who other than Christians say so? You follow? We're back to the words authentic, authority, and author. I've been telling you about those for years. Those three words are deep. Authentic, authority, and author. They got a picture. Now, some take a great person out of history, anybody, in the past. Don't say Jesus for Christian. Who? Abraham, like Abraham Lincoln, or because he's both of them in the past, or Abraham in the Bible. Abraham in the Bible, Abraham or Avram, as we call him. All right. Say you're an artist, and you decide that you had a dream, and in your dream, Avram came to you, and you saw his face as clear as day in your dream, and as an artist, you went and drew Avram's face, and made it public. Correct? If that's the first time that picture was ever drawn, regardless of whether people accept it or not, you follow? Once they see it, and it's implanted in the subconscious mind, it's there forever. And even if they say, I saw a picture that a guy drew of Abraham, but it wasn't really him, the picture still comes to their mind forever. That's what they did with God. They have placed in your mind a picture of God through Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel drawing one of his relatives. You follow? And though it varies, you want to play the game? You want to play the game with me? Though it varies, watch this. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christos. Get a picture in your mind. Almost 90% of the room got the same picture. Because someone beat us to the punch. You follow that? And they put the picture in our mind that does not look like us. Dig that? And if you go out and draw a picture that looks like you, like they have this whole conspiracy thing going about the black Jesus picture, what happens? You're a racist. If you have a philosophy that doesn't agree with theirs, you're a cultist. If you have a political view, you're non-reformist and potentially subversive and militant, and you must be destroyed. And it's the life we live. And I'm saying we must become authors. Here's a sad part about what I'm saying. We must become authors of everything from fiction to novels to facts. Not just all facts. We have to start writing the fictions for our kids too. Because the fictions hit them before the facts. They learn more about Santa Claus and rabbits for Easter before they learn geography. Geography catches us way down the line, all right? We got to start writing and creating our own superheroes for them. We got to get our own fiction. We got to get our own Sam, I am Sam. You understand? And get there ahead of them. You got to start getting your own pictures of God in your mind. And if someone walks in the church, and it's a Filipino church, and they see a Filipino picture of Jesus, and they go, and they're Christian missionaries, and they came to teach the love and salvation and all that beautiful stuff, and they walk in and go, hey, that ain't what Jesus looked like. Throw them out your church and call them racist bastards. Because that's what happens if you walk into a church and you go, hey, that's not what Jesus looked like. The Bible says he looked like da 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 da. And you get this description of lamb's wool and beef to burn grass and so on, so on, so on. Jesus looked like, like a normal colored person. I'm not saying Jesus looked like he was from Congo, but he didn't look like that. He didn't look like he was from Ireland either. You know what I'm saying? So take that picture down. That's wrong. They will arrest you. So the war is a subtle war. You follow? We got people here gathering, and we gather every week, and it's spreading across the world because it's being done through literature. And I'm not writing about what they want to hear. I'm not saying anything they like. When I say they, don't mistake me to think I'm talking about white folks. I'm talking about dumb folks. The race of dumb folks is worse than whites and blacks. That's a whole nother race called dumb folks. But they don't know what the hell they are. And they're caught in between identity and unidentity. And they are they're on my side when it sounds good to them, and on somebody else's side when it sounds good to them. They're the worst people out there. They're the cult busters. They don't really belong to any specific church. They just go around breaking up cults. You know what I'm saying? They don't really, it's a cult. Them Nawabians are a cult. You say, can I ask you what Nawabian mean? They can't even tell you. Do you understand what a Nawabian's purpose is? You understand what we're doing? Well, for all intents and purposes, if you believe in Christianity, we're being born again. You know what I'm saying? We've decided to be born again. Though we are already in the flesh and already adults, we've decided to be born again. We've decided to become brainwashed. They say, what? That's what they say. Nigga, you've been brainwashed. Right. That doggone Malachi got you brainwashed. Right. And I hope he uses a lot of detergent. Because I need to get 400 years of filth washed out of my brain. What is wrong? See the tricks they use? What is wrong with being brainwashed? You wash your butt every day. You wash your clothes, I hope. Do you ever think that the things that you absorb from the media every day, the commercials, the filth, needs to be washed out your brain with something else? A detergent called facts. Like it or love it, it's a fact. Like it or leave it. You got facts of facts. And when you read right knowledge deals with facts. Like I said, you may not like us. When it leaves facts and goes into something that you can't grasp, don't touch it. Don't just go pick up a book on the science or the man from Planet Risk and be walking around with a man from Planet Risk and saying, this is deep stuff. If it's deep, you ain't supposed to have it. Anything too deep is going to drown you, stupid. Go back to a book that makes sense to you and start there. You understand? You guys say, you want to have a question? Me too, I laugh most of the time, believe it or not. Anybody want to ask me a question? Yes.
Recently they were talking about how they're going to try to pull the earth away further from the sun because the sun was getting bigger and the earth was moving closer to it, and they want to start using asteroids and comets pull it away.
Right. Alright. You want to know what I think of that? Pull. This universe is a mass. The planets are all locked in orbit. There's forces keeping everything in fit form. If they break that pattern, they have what's referred to as a star holocaust, which means all the planets will be drawn toward the sun. The magnetic power of the sun and the rotating moons is what keeps this thing in what they call a solar system. Solar, sun, systematically revolving and rotating. Everything is perfectly balanced. That's why they taught myself and you in school, if I'm standing on the ground, wherever my weight is, an equal amount is being pushed up. Levity, gravity. They taught us about forces, centrifugal. If they move the planet Earth out of its orbit, you follow? Inevitably, you'll be hit by meteorites. Inevitably, you'll be drawn towards the sun. You move the planet an inch closer to the sun. You follow? It'll pull Earth towards the other planets, and as Earth is moved, you got Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They'll just start being pulled one after another towards the sun, called a star holocaust. What they're trying to tell people is it's inevitable that the planet will be hit by a meteorite one day. Correct? And so we should be prepared to move out the way. That's really some dumb to say. But that's assuming you know exactly where it's coming from, first of all. Because if you're going to attack jets to the planet, you have to already know in which direction it's coming in order to put the jets on the other side in order to move it away. You imagine the kind of jet propulsion you need to move a planet that's 6 trillion tons in weight? You follow? They have gotten to the point now where they realize that they can tell us daggone near anything and we believe it. Because who questions it? And if you go into the computer and say something, you leave an email. You're not directly debating with the astronomer who makes this crazy statement. You can't go back and say, oh, well, excuse me, so he goes, no. And if you go into one of their chat room, they have it hooked up where you can't get your questions in. You follow? So don't fall for that. It doesn't make sense. And they know in the world they're going to shift this planet out of orbit and not cause a star holocaust. No way. They are stuck here. They're trying like heck to get to other planets because they see that this planet is on its way out. It's dying. It's a dying planet. They didn't drain it. They're killing it. You know, they messed up the ozone layer. They messed up the water. They messed up the air. They messed up people's brains. And they see there's a dying planet, y'all. But it ain't dying for you. It's only dying for them. Good night.
Hold on, Pop.
What?